Hi guys, so today I'm gonna be doing a book review video on 7 books. Only 2 of them were really interesting and the other ones weren't that great. So I'm gonna get right into this book. Now this is a book that it's a sub-series. The woman that writes Outlander, Diane Gabaldon, she wrote this series on Lord John. Lord John is a British officer who helps Jamie through some things and stuff like that. And I got these books with my um, with some money that I had from doing taxes and stuff. And I got these books, and I got all the rest of my Outlander books because I really needed them. And I got 2 of these books. So I didn't know how good they were gonna be, and they weren't that great. It's supposed to be just like a series based on like his life. So in this one, it takes place during the time where he helps Jamie to high water. It's during that period of time. And it's about his father and how his father died and what really happened to him and stuff like that. And it's a really thick book. Like when she writes a book, these books are really long. And I just really didn't get into it. Like I thought it would be fun because I really like Lord John's character on the show. And it really wasn't that great of a book. It really to me wasn't. It was like, and I feel like it's just because there was a lot of like descriptive passages in it, not a lot of like dialogue, and I just didn't really get into it. I thought I was going to because it was exciting, but it wasn't. And this is called Lord John and the Brotherhood of the Blade. This is what it looks like. And it's just, I feel like it's just because I'm so used to like Jamie and Claire's characters from the Outlander series that this is just one of those things where I'm like, okay, like it's not that great of a book, that sort of thing. And I do have another one of these books, but I don't know where it is. But if I find it, I'm gonna read it and I'll see if it's any better than this one was. So this one was another, this book was just an okay book. I didn't get into this book um anywhere in it. And this is The Spirit is Willing. It's an Ophelia Wilde paranormal mystery. It's by Max McCoy. This is what it looks like. And it's about this woman who is sort of like what do I call them? Somebody that can like talk to ghosts and see ghosts and stuff like that. Like they see dead people. And this book is about this photographer who's supposed to be like this spiritual photographer where they can take pictures of places to see ghosts and stuff. And he's supposed to have been a fraud. I don't know if I showed you what this looks like. This is what it looks like. And she's trying to help this guy out to see because she can see in these pictures if there's ghosts in them for real or not. So she ends up helping him during this trial and stuff like that. And it's a weird kind of book, to be honest, because there's a lot of dream sequences in it, and the dreams are really, really, really weird. And I just didn't like it. So this one was a book I actually liked, and this is The Amish Mother. It's a Harlequin book, and it's by Rebecca Kertz. This is what it looks like. And this is the site. It's like a series, and this is Lancaster Courtships book 2. This is what it looks like. It's a larger print book, so it's got the words on the page are gonna be bigger, so the chapters are gonna be longer. But it was a really good book. I really liked it. I when I first read it, the how they like were summarizing the first book. I forgot. I kind of think that I read the first one, but I don't remember if I did or not. I don't know. It's about this woman who she helped this widowed man. She married him to take care of his children, but then by the end of the book she loved him for love, and then something happened to him, he died, and then this book takes place where that one left off. So she actually is taking care of the children and the farm by herself, and she ends up her husband's brother shows up to claim his inheritance and to see how she's doing this by herself. And he brings along his sister, and his mother comes along the way, and he has to decide if he wants to make her leave the farm because the farm should be his inheritance, or if he wants to keep her there because he takes care of the children. She takes care of the children, so like that. It was a really good book, like I said, because it's a larger print book. The chapters are longer in it than they would a regular Harlequin book. This one is one that it was just okay. I didn't really get into this book. It's supposed to be kind of like if Downton Abbey was kind of like a mystery series kind of book. It's a Victorian mystery. It's Mrs. Jefferies speaks her mind, and it's by Emily Brightwell. This is what it looks like. And it's about this woman who dies, and they find out she's in this like religious cult type of thing, and they're trying to figure out if somebody in this cult killed her and stuff like that. And it's sort of like a detective guy who gets help from his help, who's a maid, Mrs. Jefferies. And there's another thing that happens in the book that takes place with the people from downstairs with this one woman. And it's a really good book. Like, it's kind of like if Downton Abbey was a mystery series kind of ish type of thing. I'm not gonna say that it's exactly like it, but it's sort of like it. It's like it takes place in like Victorian times and stuff like that. And I have a couple more of these books, so maybe I can read the next ones and get into them more. I don't know. So this is a Stephen King book, and this is actually not a story. It's his take on writing. So it's called On Writing, a memoir of the craft by Stephen King. This is what it looks like. And there aren't any pictures in it or anything like that. It just basically he's showing you how to start like writing a book, like a novel, like he does in the first half of the book. It's basically like his experiences with, like getting rejected and saying, don't give up, try your best, that kind of stuff. And then the second half of the book is basically him telling you how to start writing and stuff like that. Like, you should just keep writing all the time, because if you don't, you're gonna stop, and then you're gonna want to redo it because you don't remember what happened in your book, stuff like that. And it was interesting, but it wasn't that great. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But the next book I have this is a series. It's a Cat Who series. It's about this small town journalist who solves mysteries with his two cats. It sounds kind of corny, but they're really good books. And this one is called The Cat Who Went Bananas. It's by Lilian Jackson Braun. And this is what it looks like. And these are the type of books where you turn a page and the paper's really thick, so you think you're missing like 2 or 3 pages, but you're really not. This was about Pickaxe is putting on this theater play, and this one guy who came from a different town ends up dying, and everybody is trying to figure out who did it and why. And the bananas come into play a little bit later in the book. But it was a really cute book. I really like these books. Like, they're like a cute little read. Like, I usually like to read them in the fall because it's sort of like a quaint little small town, and it's like up there in Maine, so I think of like New England, and I think of fall and stuff like that. And that's like a really good time, I feel like, to read those books. This one I really didn't like, and this is one of those books where it's a series on Hulu. It's the Handmaid's Tale series, and I don't have Hulu, so I can't watch it. But I know I seen that it was a book, and I wanted to read the book, but I could never find it. And I eventually find it, and it's one of those books where you really want to read it because you're like, oh, I'm probably gonna like it. But then, because of the show being so good, like the show's won like tons of awards and everything, and I read it, and it was not great. I didn't even finish the ending because I just didn't like it. I didn't get into it. I thought it was really weird. Like, I mean, I like to read weird stuff, but this was like beyond my category of weirdness. And like I said, it's The Handmaid's Tale. It's by Margaret Atwood. This is what it looks like, and it's like if you don't know the series or whatever, it's sort of about something happened, and apparently only some women can have children and others can't. So the women that can are in this, like, it's like kind of like a nunnery kind of place, and these women find them, and it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of like a weird version of being somebody's surrogate kind of thing. And it's where these women go and they find these women they get picked to have sex with their men so they can have a baby. And it's just a weird book. Like, it's just, I don't know. To me, it's just weird. Like, I try to get into it, but I just couldn't. Like, there was just times where I was like, oh my gosh, this book is so weird. I want to put it down. I don't want to read this book anymore. But that's just how it was. So, I'll see you guys next time with another book review video. Maybe next time the books will be better than these ones. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.